Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Łukasz and today I'm gonna show you some very useful expressions that you can use to control the meeting and feel more confident. If you like it, please leave a comment and it will also make me very happy if you decide to subscribe to my channel. Okay, let's get started. So today's video is about controlling the meeting. And in order to control the meeting, you need to control the frame of the meeting, which means deciding how the meeting should be understood, not just what is said. You do not control people, but you can control what the meeting is about. And the first step to do that is defining clear goals and expectations. Many people feel nervous in meetings, especially when English is not their first language. But don't worry, I'm about to show you some simple English expressions that will help you start meeting clearly, guide the conversation, and avoid common meeting problems. Very simple but powerful expressions are "this meeting is about" and "the purpose today is," and after that you can say something like "clarifying priorities," which means deciding what's important and what's not. Agreeing on the direction. Or you can also say direction. Direction or direction. Up to you. Setting expectations. Reviewing where we are. Or aligning on next steps. Aligning means that everyone understands and agrees on the direction. It means being on the same page. Aligning, to align, or alignment. Very fancy and very professional words. So these expressions are about setting the direction of the meeting before anyone else does. When you say "this meeting is about clarifying priorities" or aligning on next steps, you are telling people how to think, not just what to talk about. Now, what to say if a decision is your priority? You can simply say, "the purpose today is making a decision," or "confirming a decision," "deciding how we move forward," or "finalizing the approach." Approach. Approach is the way you plan to do something. These expressions will help you make everyone sure that this meeting is not about brainstorming. It's not a debate. People will automatically change their behavior. They speak shorter, they argue less, and they listen more. This is frame control at its most basic level. And if you want to focus on structure and process, you can say "reviewing progress and blockers," "assessing impact and risks." To assess means to carefully look at something to understand it. It's something like to check, examine, or evaluate. Next, agreeing on ownership, which means deciding who's responsible for what. Very similar to defining responsibilities. These expressions position you as someone who manages the meeting, not just takes part in it. Now let's look at time and priority control. What needs attention now? What matters today? What we need to resolve first? Or what cannot wait? When you use phrases like these, you decide what's important, what's urgent, what can wait, and what can be ignored. And you don't only say "this is more important." You simply act as if the hierarchy already exists. They are very simple phrases but give you a lot of power. Now let's look at expectation management. Alignment, not debate. You already know what alignment is. Decisions, not explanations. Clarity, not detail. Outcomes, not opinions. Outcomes are simply results of something or final decisions. Expressions like alignment, not debate, or decisions, not explanations, are not rude, but they are very firm. They clearly tell people how much freedom they have in this meeting. Now, when situation might get a bit tricky and you need to do some damage control, you can say things like moving forward from the issue, stabilizing the situation, reducing risk, preventing this from happening again. Now, these expressions help protect you from blame and direct the meeting into the future. You shift attention away from the past. You don't need to explain, defend, or apologize. You just focus on stability, risk, and prevention. That's exactly the language of leadership in difficult moments. I want you to notice now that all the expressions that I've just shown you have a couple of things in common. They don't ask for permission. They don't sound aggressive. They simply define the reality of the meeting. And that's why they work. Whoever controls the frame controls the meeting. Now let's have a look at some good and bad openings. So let's talk about the project and see where we are. Seems quite alright, doesn't it? But in reality, it creates problems. First, it's open and vague. Vague means not very clear, not very specific. The second problem is that everyone can jump in with their own topic. Anyone can take the meeting in any direction. One person talks about delays, another talks about budget, another one talks about tools. If you say things like this, you are not leading the meeting. You are inviting chaos. Now, let's compare it to this meeting is about reviewing where we are and aligning on next steps. It's a very slight, very tiny change, but very helpful. It defines the topic. It tells people what the meeting is about. It also limits the scope. We are not talking about everything, only about the current status and next steps. Scope means what is included and what is not included in a discussion. And finally, it also signals structure. People understand that this meeting has a plan. It's not just a conversation. Nothing aggressive, nothing complicated, but suddenly the meeting feels controlled. And that's the key takeaway for you. Clarity at the start prevents confusion later. Now let's have a look at the second pair. I'd like to hear everyone's thoughts on this. Why this opening is bad? First of all, it invites opinions and long explanations. People start talking to share ideas, not to decide. As a result, it creates noise. The meeting becomes long and unfocused. Now compare it with, this meeting is about making a decision. This sentence changes behavior immediately. People speak more carefully. It shortens answers because people know time is limited. It also reduces debate, because the goal is clear, a decision, not a discussion. Here we focus on emotions. There were some issues and I know this has been frustrating. This sentence opens the door to emotions and blame. People start explaining, defending, or complaining. Now look at the better opening. The purpose today is reviewing progress and blockers. This version removes emotion from the meeting. It sounds neutral and calm. It introduces process. Instead of talking about feelings, we talk about progress and problems. It also frames the problem as manageable. Blockers can be identified and removed. The bad opening here is, we have a few things to cover, so let's get started. Seems okay, but in reality it isn't. This sentence suggests everything is equal. No topic sounds more important than another. Because of this, people don't know where to focus. Now let's compare it with, this meeting is about what needs attention now. This one creates hierarchy. Some topics matter more than others. It signals urgency. People understand that time is important. Hierarchy is the order of importance. Urgency means something needs attention now. It also gives you control over time because you decide what comes first. And the last one. Before we start, I just want to explain what went wrong. This sentence puts you on trial. You invite questions and judgment. Now look at the better version. This meeting is about moving forward from the issue. This sentence removes blame immediately. We are not looking for who is guilty. It shifts the timeline forward. The past is less important than the future. It protects your position because you are leading the next steps, not defending the past. All these examples show the same rule. Bad openings invite conversation. Good openings define reality. If you don't define what the meeting is about, someone else will. And you may not like the result. Now let's have a look at some other very useful expressions. Let's not turn this into a technical deep dive. Deep dive means talking about something in a lot of detail. This sentence sounds very polite and professional. It feels efficient and pragmatic. Pragmatic means realistic, practical, down to earth. What does it really do? First, it stops experts from taking control. In many meetings, technical experts can dominate by going into details. This sentence quietly takes that power away. It keeps the discussion high level. You move the meeting away from details and towards decisions. And this is where managers and leaders feel comfortable. It also protects decision makers. People who make decisions don't need every detail. They need clarity. You can use this sentence when somebody goes too deep into details, when technical talk slows the meeting, and especially when senior people are present. And very important, you are not rejecting expertise. You are just controlling the level of discussion. Another one. We're not here to revisit old decisions. To revisit means to go back to something again or to talk about something one more time. It sounds reasonable and time-focused. Also, it's very calm and not aggressive. It blocks criticism of past choices. People can no longer question what was decided before. It removes the question of authority. Who decided before is no longer important. It also shuts down hindsight arguments. Hindsight is understanding something after it already happened. So you basically look back and you examine or analyze situation after it happened. You can use this sentence when someone questions past decisions, when the discussion goes backwards, and when time is limited. It protects the past and forces the meeting to move forward. This meeting isn't about individual performance. This sentence sounds supportive and HR-friendly. It feels fair and human. But again, the effect is strategic. First, it protects individuals. No one is put on the spot. It also prevents direct criticism. People stop attacking one person. And also it shifts the focus to process. Instead of who failed, we talk about what failed. You should use this sentence when somebody is being grilled. I know this expression is not very professional, but I personally love it. When you're being grilled, it means that you've been put on the spot and you're being asked a lot of uncomfortable questions. You can also use it during tense team meetings, and especially in front of senior leadership. It helps lower tension and keeps the meeting professional. Very short and very helpful. We're not solving everything today. It sounds realistic and mature. First of all, it lowers expectations. People stop pushing for quick answers. It avoids commitment. You don't promise more than you can deliver. And it also gives you time. Time to think or to gather information. This sentence is especially helpful with complex problems, when ownership is unclear, or during early-stage discussions. This sentence protects you from pressure and keeps the meeting under control. Okay guys, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope these expressions will help you feel more confident during the meetings and control them effectively. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe buttons, and I will be very grateful if you leave a comment. Next time we're going to talk about damaging questions. See you next time and take care.